this video, I just want to walk you through doing revisions and proofing with a client. So what goes into them submitting revisions to me, how I handle those. This is a real, kind of a real life case. I've just changed all the names and everything. And then how I'm going to handle those with them, what I'm going to send over to them for their next round of proofs, and how I'm presenting everything to the client. So here is their kind of mock-up that I create in Adobe Photoshop. I have a whole course on this in my membership stationery school about how to create these if you'd like. And then here is their design. I'm just using JPEGs of the design for the mock-up portion. And as you can see, I have a little bit more, for instance, just this section of how it's going to appear when it comes out of the envelope as opposed to the individual pieces. And I added in the pink string that we're going to use and how we're going to tie that across the save the date. But this is their actual design file in Illustrator, and then any changes I make on here will automatically update over here on Photoshop. So I send over their proofs via Dubsado, and I have another video on how I set this all up. But basically we'll put the mock-up at the top, and then each individual piece has its own section, including all the details about that piece, and then a picture of that piece close up so they can see it. At the bottom, I have individual fields where they can fill in all of their revisions. And if they click yes on all of these and then sign off, they actually have to do a full signature at the bottom, then that's ready for print. These are all no's, obviously, so they are not ready for print. However, this is the first round of proofs, so that's totally normal. So let's look into a few of the things that this client said. So first, just changing save the date to save our date. And then Rob doesn't like the word deets. So maybe we've come up with another one for the full scoop, and they're kind of leaving that open to me if I have any suggestions. They had presented some like fun wordings and specifically asked for that. So here on the bottom, I put for all the deets. If he doesn't like that though, we can change it to that for the full scoop, not scoop. Or I can absolutely, play with that, look up some different wordings, kind of think about it, noodle on it a little bit. We're going to change save the date to save our date. I'm going to make wording changes really quickly and right when I see them because they're just so easy, simple, very straightforward for the most part. So these are usually the easiest parts of the design. Then we have the script font is coming off too busy. Visually, it isn't working for me. I love the bold, thicker font, and maybe scoot on over to on one line and Scottsdale below it. So she wants to emphasize Scottsdale and de-emphasize the scoot on over to, which is totally reasonable. We'll probably have to play with font sizes to make that work out. So I would make this a little bit smaller, for instance. I'm going to do that right now because we are going to change that font. This is an example where I might send her a few different font options and say, what are you really vibing with here? She did send me a Pinterest board that had a lot of options very similar to this. So for that reason, I'm a little confused as to why we didn't hit the mark here. However, I can do a few things to make sure that we're on the same page, such as reaching out to her and saying, what vibe do you want a little bit more of? What do you want a little less of? Is it too loopy, etc.? And she can give me a little more guidance there if she wants. I think that I kind of know where we're going to end up. So I have some ideas of other fonts that I'm going to try here. At this point, I'm going to look at the rest of the feedback before I dive into the font change. This is where she says, I love the purple, but is it a wash when it's all the same shade? She'll send me a picture of some of the florals, which she did. They are very similar to what I already have, but gave me some ideas of how she wants them to be a little bit brighter. And let's see, maybe add some to mention. It could be like a dark purple and a light purple. I do love the pink ribbon idea. You'll see that in the photo they're going to send me, there's magenta. I just used one of my own photos for the mock-up here, but that's great that they want to pull in the pink in the thread there. And love the envelopes. So she does really like the purple color of the envelopes. And this is where the mock-up comes in handy because you see how all these colors are really playing with each other. However, mock-ups can be a little distracting because you have to be careful that you're not showing too much of some of the colors. So by duplicating this piece with the purple, we've added more purple than there's actually going to be on this design. And by showing both sides of the envelope, especially if we also had an envelope liner and we were showing that, we're showing way more of the envelope color than they're actually going to see in real life when they pull this out. So when they pull it out, there's going to be a piece that's purple and a piece that's white with purple on it, and then a piece that's white that's smaller with an image on it and then some thread that's pink. So they're not necessarily going to get like so much of this purple, and we're really accidentally upplaying that by showing this mock-up in this way. However, I think it's important to show that. So that's why we've kind of diminished the envelope purple by like putting it behind this other envelope as much as possible. So at this point, I'm going to reach out to her and ask her some questions. And the main things are that like this card is letterpress. So if we add an additional color on it, it's going to change the price. I also think when we have the letterpress here, she's going to like this all as one color, and it's going to look more cohesive with all of it being one color. It doesn't need to be this purple color, and we can further separate it from the purple color of the envelopes, or we could provide an additional envelope color, although she did already say she liked those. So we probably won't do that, but we might present it as a potential option. So when I see feedback like this is where I kind of reach out and say, hey, I don't want to do anything that's going to affect price without telling you. I don't want to do anything that's going to change something that you like about the design, but here are some options that we can have here. And also I want to give you just a little reminder that like there's not actually this much purple in the design. So that's something where I'm going to reach out to her and remind her of that, kind of see how she wants to proceed before I move forward with the next proof. Another thing here is we're still waiting on her image, so I'm probably not going to make a new proof for her until she gets back to me with that actual image. You don't have to create a proof every single time someone sends feedback if there's additional things to talk about or additional things that you're waiting on. So I'm going to give it a sec, see what she says. I'm going to pretend and make a few of those decisions for her, make a font decision, and maybe even change out that photo to a different one. And then I'll show you how I would send this kind of back to her based on some things that she might reply with after I reach out to her about this. All right, so after speaking to her, we landed on keeping this purple, but we actually made it a little bit of a different purple color. So the previous one, it's kind of hard to see the difference, was this color. So we made it less dusty, a little bit brighter, and we also added some pink into it, which is going to play off the pinks that she's using, the ribbon, etc. We want to do, it's a fine balance because this is letterpress and we want it to still completely show up, but we wanted to differentiate it from the envelopes just a little bit so that she's not feeling quite as crazy with the purple, even though purple is her favorite color and a big color in the wedding. I also am going to present this font because looking at her inspiration board, she uses a lot of these kind of casual handwriting fonts, and this one feels a little less busy, which is the word that she used for the other one that we had. It's less loopy, it's a little more casual. And we changed this to everything you need to know, which is still casual, fun wording, but doesn't include the word deets or any kind of abbreviations like that. And she was also worried about the scoot and scoop. So we found this one. This one's a little smaller, so I'm going to just adjust a tiny bit here. You always have to do that when you get new fonts. And this is a different text box, of course. I just wasn't realizing. So we're going to adjust our spacing. And then I did make this top portion a little bit smaller. It's 48 point, and then Scottsdale is 62 point. So it really stands out because I know it's important to her without it looking like a totally different font or something too crazy on here. I just swapped out the photo because I wanted to give us something different to play with here. This is pretty much ready to go. I hope this gave you an idea of what I kind of think about and what I do with revisions when I get them from clients. Now, how do I change them on here? I mentioned that any changes I made here, we're going to automatically update over there. And the key to that, which you'll learn in our mockup course if you end up taking it, is that these are linked over here. So all I have to do is replace these files. So I export as, I'm going to export all the artboards as JPEGs, leave the naming conventions the same, etc. And then keep all of this the same. Now what I want to see is this. Some of the files already exist. The files marked below will be replaced. And that's what I want to see. I want them to actually replace those files with the new ones. And then when I come over here, we'll buffer for a second, and then all of those files will change and update to the new ones. So now I have a new mockup here. I'll save the Photoshop version, and then I'll save a JPEG version that I can then upload into Dubsado. And then I'll show you what we do with this. So we have our invitation proof, and I'm just going to copy that exact same proof and click edit in here. And now we have all the different things that we had before, and all we have to do is replace the files, or if there are any changes to, like, say day, oh, we decided we didn't want to do letterpress, or we wanted to change the stock or the size or something, we can make those changes here too. So then all those JPEGs I already have, I'm going to upload. And I didn't change the envelopes at all. So I just changed the mockup. I changed this card and this card. I'll upload new files here. And then after a second, I'll just be able to kind of click and place everything in here. We'll change this one. And then all of these, everything else is the same. And from there, I can just send this to her directly from Dubsado. So if this gave you some information on how I kind of handle and think about revisions, as well as what that looks like on the client side, typically I allow for about 3 revisions on my semi-custom suites, and then we have unlimited revisions on our custom suites, but I try to narrow those down pretty clearly so that we typically only go to like 3 or 4 versions before we're ready to print. Let me know what other questions you have. If you want to see how I set up that proof in Dubsado, I'll link that video for you. And if you want more information on our design process, how we make these mockups, just so much more information, definitely join Stationery School with over 60 lessons in the vault ready for you to watch immediately after you join. I'm going to link that for you in the description of this video. Thanks, everybody.